Let's change gears. People across Louisiana forced to leave their homes as the Mississippi River continues to rise. Now, the flooding also hurting businesses after shipping traffic on the river was put on hold. And the financial impact on the state could be great. Joining us right now is the Democratic Senator from Louisiana, Senator Mary Landrieu. Thanks so much for joining us, Senator. What could you tell us about the flooding? Thanks. What could you tell us about the flooding today? As of 2 days ago, you were optimistic.
Well, it's a challenge. I mean, across the whole United States, this Mississippi River is really an extraordinary asset, but it can also be challenging at times like this. It, drains 31 states. It drains about 40% of the entire continent, and all that water right now is coming through Louisiana, causing flooding of farmlands. People are having to leave homes. The only positive thing I can say is that the system that's been built by the American taxpayer, $13 billion invested, and a little bit more since 1927, seems to be working in the sense of holding the catastrophic to a minimum. And it's saved about $300 billion. So wise investments in strong levee systems and flood control seems to be working. But still, Brian, we have a lot of people that have been affected in a negative way. Right.
We're going to keep an eye on that. And you have to keep a lot of balls in the air while you're looking at the flooding. You're also worried about oil subsidies. You broke with your party along with Senator Ben Nelson and Senator Begich from Alaska and said, I am not for eliminating the tax breaks for the oil companies. Why did you do that?
Well, there are a couple of facts that I think people should know. First of all the energy subsidies that the federal government gives out to many different industries, the oil and gas, large oil and gas companies only get 13% of those subsidies, but they produce 60% of the energy for the country. Number two, the tax rates for the largest 5 companies are 35 to 40%, higher than almost any other industry sector in the country. And number three, taxing them or taking away these subsidies, which are available to other industries, will not lower the price at the pump by 1 penny.
Right.
So that's why I said I thought this was theater and not serious. Now, when we reform the tax code, which we most certainly need to do, then we need to throw all of that on the table and consider it. But to pick them out, an industry that employs 9.2 million people in America, I thought was the wrong thing to do. And I, broke from my party on behalf of what I thought was the best, and most certainly for my state and the oil and gas producing states of this nation.
And it took a lot of courage. I know the president over the weekend said, I'm going to open up some leases in Alaska, on the Gulf Coast, and exploring the Atlantic. Others say, I want to see action. Do you believe that the president has changed gears and is suddenly willing to drill?
Well, actions will speak louder than words. I want to commend the president for at least stating that he wants to see more domestic drilling, but we're still virtually under a permitorium in the Gulf of Mexico. There's only been one new well permit given in the last year and 3 months. So when the permits start flowing, then we will know that this administration's serious. Until then, we're going to keep the pressure up.
And Senator, I just think about all those people just waiting to work. If we could just let them work and let them drill, and then that would affect gas prices, not the short, certainly the long term. Must be frustrating.
Absolutely.
Senator Mary Landrieu.
Absolutely.
And thanks so much for standing up for the people of Louisiana and those who are looking to drill.